Hey guys, it's Spicy. So as you know, in the most recent patch, Riot made it so that the vertical distance of the cyber cages is a lot longer than it was before. So some of the spots that I showed you in my previous video don't work. So don't worry, I've activated my 5-head senses. I've gone into these custom
30
maps,
seconds left.
and I've found some new one-way smoke spots that you can use just like before and win some games. So let's get started. Alright guys, the first spot is on A, long. So what you're going to do for this is you're going to come to this area right over here. See this line? You want to make sure that your crosshair is right in the middle of the line. Like that. And then what you're going to do is see this wooden panel? You're going to look at the bottom of it. So like this, around here, in this rectangle. So I like to put it right over here. This is the perfect spot. There's room for error for this. See that? Easy clap. Alright, now what you're going to do is wait for the round to start and then put the camera there. This is going to give you a good view and your camera won't get shot down. This is the best place. Now, when someone goes through this choke, you're going to activate the gauge from the camera, exit, and you got the one-way peek. There it is, boys. Here's how the gauge looks from the opponent's point of view.
Gauge triggered.
They don't see anything. Next spot. So this one you can set it up in conjunction with the one that I just showed you. So what you're gonna do for this one, you can do this right before the round starts as well. See this box? You're gonna align with this box, come close to it, align with this edge right over here. Alright, and then see this electrical box right over here? I'm gonna zoom in on that. See these two dots? Top left, top right? You're gonna look at the top right dot. Now, this gauge is activated in the scenario that the opposing team has pushed on to the point, they've taken the bomb site, and you're trying to retake it. In that situation, you probably backed up to about this and you're waiting for your team's support. And the camera is in the same spot, right over here. So as soon as you start seeing them kind of push a little forward and go into that cubby down below, you can activate the gauge from this camera. And again, you have this nice peek. Here it is again. This is how it looks from their perspective. They can't see anything, boys. Alright guys, remember this spot on short A right over here? Remember the good old days where you could one-way peek this? They patched it, so it's alright. I made a new one. So what you're gonna do for this, see how this doorway, see all these dinosaurs? You're gonna come to the first dinosaur right outside the doorway, right? And you're going to look at its eye right over here. Right, his eye is right there. His eye is right over here. All right, so now that you matched up with the eye of the first dinosaur right outside the doorway, you're going to look, see this whole see this cool pattern here? So let's just assume this is line number 1, and then where these two lines intersect, it's line number or point number 2. You're going to look right in the middle of this, like that. All right, so easy clap. I'm just gonna cut that. So you're just going to look right over here. So not in the middle, but just a little to the left of the middle. So right here. Easy clap. And then you're going to put your camera right over here. This is actually a very good 5-head spot. What you're gonna do is you're gonna chill here behind these boxes. You're gonna look through here. Now, if anyone comes onto this in this choke, you can activate this gauge. You'll have a pretty good line of view. If anyone comes through this doorway, make sure you activate this gauge. So here's how it's gonna look. So that's if you're outside the doorway. You want to make sure that you're positioning yourself around right over here. This is the best positioning. So again, activate it, and this is what you get. Right over there. You get that peek all the way to the entrance of the ramp. And anyone that peeks this left side doorway. There it is again. Right over here. Make sure you crouch to take full advantage of this. Here's how it looks from the opponent's point of view.
Cage triggered.
Right? If you're going to be behind this right spot right over here, they can't see much unless they're in this ramp, at which point you're going to see them first anyways because of the camera. Alright, so this next spot is going to utilize the ropes, which means you're going to have 100% accuracy. So this is really good. The opposing team has taken control of mid and they're pushing up this ramp. And you're the only one that's left, right? Because that's what usually happens. So you can set this up pre-round, but it's pretty easy to set up, so you can set it up even mid-round. Just make sure you have one gauge left. So what you're gonna do for this is for the gauge spot, get on this sloped thing right over here, look down, and then see where this vertical line and the horizontal line meet right over here. So once you've done this, you're gonna line yourself up with this rope, and then you're gonna look right above the first pipe right over here, like that. See that? It's going to land on the yellow thing. This is going to give you an amazing peek. Before you do this, make sure you put your camera right over here, because this is going to give you a great view of anyone coming into the choke. You can't use your camera while you're on the rope, so you have to kind of stay here. You're going to stand beside the rope, you're going to activate your camera, and you're going to see anyone that's coming in through here. As soon as you start seeing people come through here, you're going to activate this gauge, climb up the rope, and look at this peak, boys. All across the room you can see everyone, and you have 100% accuracy.
Cage triggered.
Here's the peak, right? So the whole floor is yours. Now, so here's how it looks from the opponent's point of view.
Cage triggered.
They can't see anything, right? Now the only way they see something is if they're below, right here on the stairs.
Cage triggered.
Then they see you. That's the only problem with this. But if you see someone here, make sure this guy is first target priority, and then you can deal with everyone else. So this is a really good spot because it gives you 100% accuracy on the rope as well. So this is pretty insane. Everyone from EU type 3 head in the comment section. And this next spot is going to be for long B, and you're going to get into this corner right over here. What you're going to do, wooden panel number 1, wooden panel number 2. You're going to look at wooden panel number 2. See that square part right over here? So you want to aim for this part right over here. Don't aim for this, it's not going to work. You want to aim anywhere over here because this part is flat, right? So, you know, using physics, it's going to bounce off that and it's going to land on one of these wooden panels. And once you do that, you're good to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your camera right over here, right as the round starts, right? And you're going to chill behind this part right over here. So you're gonna look at the camera. As soon as you see these four heads starting to peek over here, you're going to activate your gauge through the camera, and you're gonna back up, and you're gonna have this amazing one-way peek. And if you crouch, obviously it makes it better. So you have this whole spot to you, and you can obviously shoot through the gauge. Alright, so if they're here, they don't see anything. The only way they see something is if they're hugged with this wall, and they're like crouching just like you are, right? I have a way you can outsmart him, right? So here's what you do. If there's a person that catches on, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna position yourself on heaven, and you're gonna put your camera instead over here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna chill right over here, look at the camera. As soon as you start seeing people file through here, you're gonna activate this gauge. And now you look here, and yet again you have that one-way peek. So see, that's the doorway right there. You're gonna see people come through there. So you're gonna have that whole spot.
Cage triggered.
So you get all this. Really good. Alright, so now we're on point A on bind. So I want to make sure you guys know that this spot that I showed you in my previous video, this spot still works, right? So line 1, line 2, put it right in the middle of line 2, put it on the board. This spot still works. You can still see people. Still one way. I was able to find another spot. So in this situation, what you're doing is you're putting it the second wooden panel. What you want to do is come to this wooden stick, make sure you hit the wall, and then what you're going to do is you're going to aim for the left corner of this wooden panel right over here. It's gonna land right there. See that? So if you're a little bit lower, that's what's gonna happen. If you're a little bit more to the side, it's gonna happen. So there's a lot of room for error on this. This is a really good thing to do, especially if you want to trick your opponents, right? If they're expecting this one-way smoke, you can hit them with this one. What you're going to do for this, though, is going to put the camera right over here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come outside in the doorway, and you're going to look through the camera. As soon as you start seeing people come through here, you're going to activate the gauge from the camera, look down, and there it is. There's the one-way spot. Here's how it looks from the opponent's side.
Cage triggered.
So if they're over here, they don't see anything. if they're in here and they see a bit, but you're gonna see them way before they see you. That's kind of the way this is gonna work. So this is for if the opposing team is attacking long A and they're going into this room and then attacking from here. So you really do want to force them to do that if you're going to do this strategy. What you're going to do for this one, let's just start with the cage spot first. You're going to get into this corner, and this is the hardest part. You want to aim really for right between, see this wooden strip right here? So you want to aim for it on this wall. You want to aim right in the middle of it, like this. See that? It's going to land on the lamp. Now the room for error on this is very low. If I go even a bit lower, it's not going to work. If I go higher, it's not going to work. So you have to aim it right in the middle of this strip. Once you get the hang of that, it's simple. Right? So there's the spot. So again, you want to force people into this room. So what you're going to do first though, is you want, eyes inside this room. So you're going to first put your camera right over here. This is a really good spot. It blends in with all the lanterns and all the decorations. This is what you see. You pretty much see everything. You also want to put a gauge right over here. You want to force people into that room. So if you activate this, they're going to be like, hey, look, we have an alley into the room. So you're going to make sure that you guard this area very hard. You want to deny this area and you want to force them into the room. And then once they go into the room, you're looking at this camera. As soon as you start seeing people approach this spot right over here for the peak, you're going to activate the gauge, and you have that insane one-way spot right over here. So if they try to peek this area right over here,
cage triggered.
This is how it looks. Even if they're in the doorway, this is how it looks. So this next spot is on B, on bind. Essentially the play is to let everyone come to the ground, and you activate your one-way smoke. What you're gonna do in this is, see, I have shadows on so I can see this. This works perfectly for me. So what I do is I come here and then I just look right over here at this edge on the window, and I just do that. There's a lot of room for error on this. If you don't have shadows on for whatever reason, you can just, honestly, there's a lot of room for error on this. You can even do it on the left side. It's pretty simple to do. So once you have that, that's your one-way smoke spot. The key thing is, oh my god, my camera's on A. You can obviously put your camera here. Problem is, it can get shot down, and the true power of this whole gauge setup is to make sure that the camera doesn't get shot down. So I put my camera right over here, because the main thing you want to do for this, so you're going to be hiding in this cubby hole. As soon as you see people come down and drop down to the ground, that's when you're going to activate this gauge. And now you're going to step out, you're going to move back, step out, and now you have this whole spot to kind of deal with anyone who's over here. So that's why it's critical that you have the camera there and it doesn't get destroyed. You're hiding in this cubby hole, and then when you activate it, here's the one-way spot again. And if you activate this thing, as soon as like these people drop down, this is what they see.
Cage triggered.
They don't see anything. They're blinded. Area of concern is someone who jumps down from the left side.
Cage triggered.
Like this. They can see you pretty easily. So you have to just be wary of that. So make sure you target the people to the right side first, and then you target the people in the gauge, because the people in the gauge are going to be slowed down anyways. Alright guys, next spot is going to be short on C. So you're going to try to get people coming out of the garage. What you're going to do for this is, see this edge? Come right here, and then just back up a bit. About this much distance is fine. There's really no like marker here that I can really use. So just about this much distance. There's room for error on this, so it should be fine. See those rectangle things in the steel? Rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna look at the fourth one, and you're just gonna look around at the bottom like that. It should land on that steel thing. That's really important. So like, imagine if I was closer, see, it still lands in there. So looking at the top part of the rectangle is the best spot, and there's room for error on this. So now there's two positions you can set up. So this is the first spot right over here. This gives you full range of view. The second spot is right over here. Either way, wherever you set up, what you're going to do is look through the camera, and as soon as you start seeing people come into this area, don't shoot anyone with the camera. It's going to reveal the camera position. We don't want it being destroyed. So just as soon as you start seeing people come into here, you're going to activate this gauge. And what you're going to have is, no matter where you are, you're going to have this spot. If you're in this position, this is probably the safest position right over here.
Cage triggered.
Where you can kind of get that peak right over here. So that's spot number 3 on Haven. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed those Cypher spots. It took a lot of energy out of my 5-head brain in coming up with these spots. Make sure you leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And also, join the Discord, join the Curry Nation. The first 20 people to join are getting the OG badge. Follow me on Twitch for more KEKW moments and potential 5-head moments live so you can laugh at me, I guess. And also, make sure you hit that sub button. And also, I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one.